Okay, I just uploaded a video, but I've been able to work pretty consistently the past couple of days, and I'll be able to, again, work most of the day today, so it's been really nice just to have this block of time where I can kind of just immerse myself in it. And like yesterday, it was just me and ChatGPT, and I was just like in the zone, um, not pumping out anything crazy because not proficient, but it was just nice to just move forward steadily and not get hung up on things and try to do something and have to redo a bunch of other stuff or whatever. But anyway, I added, I think I can show most of this stuff. So this green thing is a skill, and if you press R and shift, it does a skill, but only if you're fishing. I have the stamina bar. This is the stamina bar up here, which I just put in, and that's functional to an extent right now. So if I fish, I think I added this thing. I don't remember what I did in the last video. But just a border, it looks a little cleaner. A little background image here, whatever. I'm tracking the distance. You can tell if I reel, basically the distance from shore is what the variable is, and then the depth also. I want these to be relevant while you're fishing. Maybe catching different fish at different depths. The lure is sinking here at a constant rate, but I want to have different lures that will sink at different rates and also maybe stay within ranges. So if maybe you can target farm for a certain fish or something. The skill, anyway, if I'm holding R and press shift, which I guess I could just press shift, it does the skill. It costs some stamina, which regens over time. And it's just a multiplier to your reel speed. You have a constant reel speed. You press shift and it goes faster, and then it costs some stamina, and it lasts for 3 seconds. But the basic implementation here of kind of the foundations of a skill that I can build on later. The cool thing about the stamina, or the system that I want, is I want like Dark Souls, the way that you use your stamina and it regens pretty quickly over time, but if you go to a minimum, then you're kind of locked out, or something. You have a negative for hitting the minimum, so you do have to manage above 0. And also, while your stamina is not at max, it drains your max stamina, so you need to be efficient both in managing your stamina, and then also try to avoid it, I guess. I don't know. This is something that I wanted to implement, and then I have to see how that goes moving forward. But your max stamina drains when your current stamina is less than your max, and then there'll be maybe in the future ways to restore that. Did I do anything else cool? Not really here, I think. I did fix the reel animation if that was messed up last time, but and then also when you use the skill, you see he's reeling. Get this going. So he's reeling. If I use the skill, he reels a little faster, and that's just scales with something. I don't know. I think the multiplier, or I think I divide your reel speed by your base reel speed, and increase by that amount or something like that. But my stamina is here. It's draining at a rate. Now I can only get up to 98%. I'll probably just put a number here, but it's just displaying something for now. Some cool thing I did in the inspector. I have a bunch of scripts here, which I don't know what I'm doing, so I don't know if any of this is supposed to be this way or if this is going to cause problems in the future. But player skills. So this is power reel is a skill name, so I can set the stamina, and it checks to see if it's on CD and there's the multiplier and the cooldown, yada yada. But over here in the player resources script, unfortunately everything here is public, I think. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do that, but you can see here I have these as drop-down menus. So player resources script has the cast bar class in it as well as the stamina bar class in it. I'll open that and show that to you. This involved making a different class. So this is my player resources script, right? And then that ends there. So I have some logic up here. You can see I'm calling the coroutine in the stamina bar class from, I've got a function to do so in the player resources script because, or the player resources class, because it inherits from mono behavior, thus allowing access to the start coroutine function. I have to define the other classes here so I can get access to them, as well as over here. So to get access to the variables in the castbar class script, I have to get the player resources script, which is on this game object, and then also just add this, which I don't really understand. I was just plugging things in to see if that would work, and then this seemed to work because when I took the stamina or the cast bar and stamina bar stuff out of the player resources script so that I could manage the inspector a little better, it broke everything in my player controller, everything that was using the cast bar class. I have a lot of basically over here, yeah. So this is, I don't need to do this in this way. I was realizing that yesterday, but it's working, and maybe I'll fix it. I don't know. Anyway, so you do your public class. You need system serializable, and then it's just a class, right? So I have functions in here. Now the tricky part, or I don't know, it's kind of interesting of a problem to solve or work around anyway. Same thing with the stamina bar class here. I've got similar functions, and now I have coroutines in the stamina bar class, which these are public too. They need to be public to access them. Which, am I even accessing them? Yeah, I'm accessing them from, even though it's on the same script, they need to be public so I can access them up here, and then these need to be public so I can access them in other scripts. So it doesn't feel good to do, I'm not going to lie, and I don't think it's a very good way to do things, but for organizational purposes, I really like these drop-down menus over here, at least while I'm fiddling with it. So maybe when it's finalized or whatever, because otherwise it would just, the player resources script would just be this entire thing. I could put a header, but I like the drop down bar, man. I wanted to try it out. So anyway, coroutine here, public, so I can access it. So I wanted it to loop, right? So while it starts at the beginning of the player resources script, I start it here, and then while you should degen max stamina, it degens max stamina, and then this affects your slider and blah blah blah. Debug time, that was just a check. I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. And then in the player resources script, I'm checking. So I have a lot of, not a lot, but a handful of updates happening on the same character at the same time. I don't know how this affects things under the hood or whatever, but I'm just doing it for now anyway. So it's checking, right? If your current stamina is less than your max stamina, then you should degen max stamina, and you should regen stamina, and then it toggles those off. So I start that coroutine at the beginning. It goes, right? It doesn't work. It waits right here until this is true, because it's false when you're at max. And then it restarts the script when it's true, and then boom, it's stuck in here while it's true. And then so this was cool. I feel like maybe I'm understanding how to utilize coroutines a little better now, which is nice because they're very cool and very useful. And then I ran into the problem where I was just trying to restart it, but I cannot start coroutine in a class that does not inherit from mono behavior right here. So then I got stuck there for a little bit. And then I was like, wait, I have a mono behavior right here. I just need to have a function, and I can access, and I know I can start coroutine because I did it up here. So I'll just make a function, a public function in a mono behavior script or class to start the coroutine, and then I can call that down here, and then all I need is, or wait, yeah, this is a public class mono behavior. It should be here, but it's not. Anyway, then this is my reference to it, and I also set this because I wasn't sure. This is not using update or anything, and I don't know necessarily if or when the code in here ever executes. So I have a reference to it, but I never set it in here. I didn't try to set it in here. What I did is I just went up here and I set it here. So it's not pretty, and I'm pretty sure it's not good. But stamina bar class player resources equals game object get component player. So I set it up here and start. But it's functional and it works for now. Anyway, it's always something. There's going to be problems. I feel it, but whatever. That's just the display thing there. I also found one of my earlier iterations of this project, FG1 Fishing Game 1. I'll play max. Obviously old layout, which, you know, a bunch of scripts. I was basically, that's not even all the scripts. Player states are each a script. This was kind of my first introduction to state machine, which I really ended up liking a lot. I liked the usability of state machines in regards to what I was trying to do. I have a variable script, a bunch of other scripts, but I won't go into too much of this stuff. A lot of it is similar or whatever, but I'll show you what this game was once upon a time. This was like 2 years ago I did this, so okay, so you move with your mouse, and the color indicates the state that you're in, just as a point of reference. I had some rudimentary fish in there, and can I do anything? I cannot move the camera, but I spawn fish in a range here. Obviously there's a bunch of fish here, and then F to fish, cast bar, same as in the other script, just not, you know, fleshed out. It reels automatically, I think, or I press S to reel. Okay, so I reel in. This fish, he saw it, and then, okay, I forgot I had all this. So he saw it, and then I have to press F when he grabs it. And then these arrows indicate the direction that you should hold, which ranges the stage of the combat. And the stage of the combat increases your reel speed. So you're basically trying to, which honestly, this isn't a bad system too. I do like this. It was kind of fun. Something like it anyway. The arrows specifically, but this is isometric in 3D, and my other one is 2D right now, so maybe something different. Maybe just up, down, or something. You do have a skill here too, which is shift, so you can press that, and it costs stamina also, and your stamina just regens over time. I caught a big fish here. And if you hold the wrong direction also, I think, boom. Okay, so I caught a fish here, red fish size 14, total caught 1. You can see that up here. Yeah, this was pretty cool, and I press escape. Yeah, okay. Can I fall off? Oh yeah. But this was, you know, something. It was earlier. I wonder if I did this the same way. Paint 3D cast bar. But a skill paint, obviously. I'm tracking a fish. I have a fish. Some of this stuff I want to implement now, and it's probably like the next step here. Can I still fish from here? I can. That's funny. But I also am drawing the line. Oh, it never ends because it has to hit the ground, I think. I want to show the fish thing once more. So it's attracted to the lure. It's chasing. Now it's got it. And if I don't press F, I think, then it just lets it go. And it should reset, and another fish should aggro, but that was an issue at one time, so maybe it still is. The ground moving, my buddy came over here, and he's like, hey, yeah, check this out. I can just overlay two textures and make it look like the water's moving, and it like that's awesome. Like, it looks so cool for how simple and quick the implementation was. I'll probably do something like that in the other game. I want to see if he lets go, if he can get it attracted again. I think there's a cooldown. I think he just had a cooldown. But yeah, initially I wanted to do 3D. But when you're fishing it, you cast out and you reel in only in one direction. So the only 3D element while fishing would be which direction does the fish go, which I could still do that in the 2D realm because I'm not restricted to 2D. It would so the fish in theory could still move in and out if I wanted or whatever. The cool things that I liked here was the fish spawn script, which I'll probably jump into and try to steal some of that because I might do that for the other one. I want the UI thing to pop up again when you catch fish. I want the fish log. But yeah, that was like 2 years ago, and then I stopped for a while. I forget why I stopped. But some cool stuff in here, and I found it because I needed I forget what I got from this. I think not the instantiate, fish spawn, fish collision, player states. Yeah, I forget what I wanted to come in here, but anyway, that was the old project. And this is the new one. It looks different, but it's about just as robust, really, as of right now. Anyway, I was just pretty happy with the stamina bar implementation, the coroutines. This thing, even though it probably won't stick around, I like this. I wish that this was just a feature without having to do that, which you can do a custom inspector or something. Seems a little bit more involved, but perhaps something I'll have to do in the future. Anyway, that's it. Maybe I'll do another video at the end of today. But anyway, bye.